Need me to send in proof of my name change? Fine, enjoy your jammed fax machine.
So, I was granted a legal name change a few months ago. Long, boring story as to why. Simply put, hated the unique spelling of my first name and wanted to ditch my surname. Didn't have much trouble updating my name most places. Social Security, driver's license, insurance, yada yada. No bumps in the road until I got to the very last thing to update. My credit card. I use this particular credit card a lot. I'm self-employed and use this card to rack up travel points for flights, hotels, rental cars, etc. However, if you've ever checked into a hotel or picked up a rental car, you'll know the name on the card must match the name on the ID. So I called the CC company, told I have to fill out a certain document and mail that in, alongside a copy of the court document. Fair enough. 2 weeks go by. Hear nothing. So call again. They say they haven't received it. I'm then informed they have a fax number that I can use to send in the documentation. So I fax in everything necessary using an app on my phone. Another 2 weeks go by. Still nothing. I call again. Same spiel on the other end of the phone. Please mail or fax. You get the deal. I once more did what they asked. Yet another week passes. I call again. Told the same damn script. I'm starting to get annoyed by this point. I have an upcoming trip planned and need the card to match my ID. So I ask to speak to a manager. They give me some BS of a manager not being currently available. Anyways, I fax in the document and court order once again. However, this time I decided I was just going to keep hitting send after the previous one had shown as delivered. I thought I'd repeat the process a few times, just to make sure they got it. After sending it 25 times the first day, I got no response. Next day I was sitting on my couch watching football. Thought I'd send the fax a few more times. By the time I realized how many times I'd hit send, I had sent it over 130 times. The very next afternoon I got a call from a manager at CC Company. She sounded quite angry over the phone. I just played dumb. You guys asked me to fax it in. I got my updated card in the mail 3 days later. TL. Doctor. Spent almost 2 months trying to update my name on credit card. CC Company gave me the same run around every time I called, just fax us X and Y. Faxed them X and Y about 150 times. They finally sent me a new card with the correct name. Edit. Holy heck, this blew up. Glad I could provide some entertainment. Go forth and maliciously comply, my friends. I have been in a similar situation. I sent them my papers by certified mail. Next time they tried to tell me they hadn't received it, I told them I had the certified mail receipt, and if they didn't act, one was suing for breach of contract, and had proof. I got my new card by express mail the next day, and used it to withdraw all my funds and close my account the day after. It was the very last straw. Lol. I remember 25 to 30 years ago my dad getting spam faxes, and to get back he would tape a few sheets of paper together and, once fed through, tape the paper in a loop so it was continuously faxing someone until they ran out of paper. It was even more diabolical when you used black paper and they had thermal paper on a roll. That stuff was expensive. Waiting for the complimentary malicious compliance story from the bank manager who sent you back 150 credit cards to your house every day for half a year. I've had the same problem with PayPal. They ask for me to upload the documents. I do. And they're like, no, you need to upload these documents. So I do. And they're like, no. Upload the documents. I'm like, fuck you. Op. I mailed it. I faxed it. I faxed it again. Quote. Credit card. We didn't get it. Op. Okay then. 155 faxes later. CC. Please stop faxing. Quote. Op. So you say you got my fax this time? For every time I've faxed something into a credit card company and it never being received. I thank you. I had a friend of mine who was being given the runaround by some insurance company about some paperwork that he knew they had. But they kept stalling. So one day, he called them and asked if they actually had his file. The low-level functionary on the other end said that, yes, they had his file on their desk, in front of them right at that moment. And the documentation requested was not there. So my friend replied, you have my file in front of you? Quote, yes, I do. Excellent. I'm calling from the street outside your building. And I'd like to come up and look at my file now. Quote. / narrator. He didn't have the file. But they found it really fast. And the document on the top of the file was the document he needed. Just the fax, the whole fax and nothing but the fax. You should have called to cancel the card, they would have escalated that much faster. If you have to do this again, print out a few copies, tape them together to form a loop, and hit send. They'll call and let you know they've received your fax. There are also fax servers which can send it repeatedly if you want to get fancy. That's such BS. When I worked at a bank, it literally took me less than 10 minutes to change a name. And I was just a teller. I know systems are different, but still. I had a similar, fun, story recently. Had to fax in some documents by a date. So I call in and ask if I can email. Apparently the office I was faxing to was located back in 1920 and fax and mail was the only means by which they can communicate. Since I live a millennium away from them, I kept faxing via a free phone app. And they kept not receiving it. So I wrote a flowery 2-page cover letter detailing my efforts to reach them by land, sea and air. Message in a bottle, helium balloons, and horseback couriers. All futile. As I suspected, many died of dysentery on their journey. And the other options were cast adrift on the seas and winds of merciless fate. I faxed that a couple hundred times. And all of a sudden they seemed to be receiving them. Like seriously. Who uses fax anymore? I've never had to fax or mail anything anywhere in my 36 years of life before. Makes my process of doing the same feel very simple. From Sweden, and we have a national name database. And when I changed my name it was updated there as well. Just had to chat to the bank people and they sent me a new card the same day. Nice. It's kind of hard for them to claim they didn't get it when they're calling you to complain about sending it so many times. Also, of course, the fastest way to make a company solve your problem is to turn it into their problem. I did this with canceling electric service at my old apartment. Was unpleasantly surprised to get a bill showing service after it was supposed to be disconnected. So I resent the disconnect request multiple times till they sent me an email that they had it. Please stop. Lol. I made them send it in writing since they were adamant that they would not accept anything other than written proof I had sent the first notice. I had similar problems with my CC company. I changed my name because I'm trans. I got the court docs, driver's license, SS number, passport, college, all that stuff changed. When I asked my CC company what they needed, they had zero clue what to ask for. This was like 8 or 9 years ago. So I guess I was somewhat unique at the time. I had to call them like 4 times. I went though like 2 or 3 levels of management. I sent them the court docs and my driver's license. Eventually, they asked for the exact same forms the state needed to change my driver's license, which at the time included notes and signatures from my doctor. I told them, hell no, am I giving you, my CC company, a note from my doctor? As a matter of fact, that sounds kind of illegal. Look, I don't care. I'll keep the old name on my card. Doesn't matter to me. I just thought you might want to have my correct name in case you ever want to. I don't know. Check my credit. Or find me if I stop paying. They changed my name right then over the phone. My middle name is misspelled, but I avoid fixing it because I don't want to have to go through the bureaucracy and BS. I would need to change my DD 214, which I heard could take years, along with countless other documentation. I legitimately don't understand why faxing is still a thing. It was an outdated technology as soon as scanning became the primary method of sending documents. Government entities still use it constantly. It's ridiculous. Having to still use fax is my biggest technology pet peeve. Did you get it now? How about now? Now? Maybe now? Did you look for it now? With a retirement account I had at a previous employer. They said they needed an original notarized copy of the documents to process them. Nobody else needed that. Not banks or my other retirement accounts. Not even the Social Security Administration. Original copies are $20 and require a trip to the courthouse. I'm not doing that. It's a 45-minute drive and also expensive, difficult to park. I also had a feeling they wouldn't return it. I rolled the account into a different one that has my current name. Way less effort.
If you enjoyed this video, please check out our playlists full of similar content. Epic Ericast is like doom scrolling for your ears. Please like, share, and subscribe.